Very exciting to get to talk with the owner and chairman of the Mubadala Citi Open, Mr. Mark Ein. Mark, every August we get this awesome tennis tournament in DC. I remember going to this thing as a kid when Andre Agassi was playing, and I always thought that was so cool that the tour stop in DC was always a big time event for tennis stars all over the world. How excited are you for this year's tournament?
I'm incredibly excited for this year. JP, I was the same kid. Like, I grew up 10 minutes from this site, and I was a ball kid my whole life.
Oh, that's cool.
It was the highlight of my summers and all of my friends. And now to be in a position to own and run the event is pretty incredible. And since we took it over 4 years ago, our goal has just been to lift this event to a new levels, really to a world-class level. And I'll tell you, the player field we have this year, the fan experience stuff is the best it's ever been.
Let's talk some about the player field. Take us through, kind of the highlights of the men's and the women's draw.
Yeah, so look, already we had an extraordinary field on the women's side, half the top 10, 12 of the top 20, 18 of the top 30 on the men's. We had 3 top 10 players, lots of our fan favorites, local people like Francis Tiafoe was also in the top 10. On the women's side, Coco Gauff. So it was already great. And then today we announced a bunch of our wild cards, which are the people that we get in. And the tournament's become so hot that some of the biggest names in the game can't even get in unless we give them a wild card to get in. So, for instance, Bianca Andreescu won the U.S. Open. We just got her in. Sophia Kenin won the Australian Open. We got her in. Danielle Collins from UVA finaled Australian Open. We got her in. Kevin Anderson finaled U.S. Open. Him. Kei Nishikori finaled U.S. Open. Gail Monfils, Leylah Fernandez finaled the U.S. Open. Elena Svitolina just made the semis at Wimbledon. So those are all new people that we just announced on top of everyone else.
That's so cool.
Yeah, who needed a wild card. And then one of the cool things is this first weekend coming up, qualifying weekend, is actually totally sold out already. It sells out every year because it's just a fun festival thing, and you see players on every court. We're going to have Leylah Fernandez is going to be playing. And then this girl, Clervie Nagoni, who grew up in D.C., just won the Wimbledon Juniors, Drew Fenty, and lots more stars. So from the first ball to the last ball, tournament's going to be amazing.
I mean, it's always fun every time I've gone. I wanted to talk a little bit about Tiafoe specifically, because one of the things that I think is so cool is how he really embraces the hometown of, all of it. I saw him last fall at a Commanders game, and I know Wiz, Caps, Nats, all of it. But he's talked openly about how much winning this tournament would mean to him. I imagine you know him well. Is it extra special for you to watch his growth and now be a top 10 player in the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. So just another sort of small DC world story. The guy who built the tennis center at College Park, where this, people know the story, his dad was the maintenance guy there, was my mentor in life, a guy who really made a difference in my life. So I've been involved in the center. I've known Francis since he was 5. JP, he was like a kid like you and I used to come to the match. He'd come to the Castles team tennis, and he'd go to the tournament and dream to be what he is now, and he's top 10 in the world. And what you said is exactly true. He represents the DMV all over tour. He's wearing Wizards uniforms, Mystics uniforms, hopefully soon Commander shirts. And he has told me that after winning a Grand Slam, winning this tournament would mean more to him than anything else. So I know he wants it bad. He's super excited. He's coming in top 10 in the world, and he lights up any crowd anywhere in the world, but especially here in DC.
Yeah, I hope to get over there one of those nights. And it's really like last year he went on that U.S. Open run, and it was so fun to watch. And you really feel this passion and energy rooting for him as a DC native. But let's talk about all the fan experience stuff you got working. I know that it's a good time for kids, for adults. There's all sorts of options. You can make it kind of a night out, or you can make it a family thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was, again, really at the top of our list when we took it over. After being a ball kid, I went as a fan forever. And I saw all the things I thought that could be done better. And so we've just transformed the food, beverage, venue experience. So we have 4 Michelin star chefs on site: Jose Andres, Michael Mina, Nicholas Stefanelli, and the Inn at Little Washington.
That's
so
crazy.
All that stuff around. We've built these venues that had never existed. This big food hall. We have a tequila lounge. We have a Froze terrace overlooking. So there's literally some carts everywhere. Ice cream, the best ice cream in town. And the idea about tennis that's really special is it's not like a 2-hour game. If you want, you can come for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours. But to do that, you have to have really cool places to go and great food and drinks. And that's what we have now. And so, yeah, fans of all ages, all tastes, there's something for everyone. And people can come out and just like spend the day and the night and have, create great memories for them and their families.
Now that you've talked about the Froze Lounge and the Tequila Lounge, can I take an Uber? Is there a ride share spot where I can get over there?
We encourage people who will be partaking in the Tequila and to take Uber. We have a partnership with Uber.
All right, good.
And you can get ride share, and please do that if you're going to those places.
Well, Mark, obviously there's so much excitement about the tennis tournament. There always is. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. But you mentioned it earlier about the Commanders. You're a part of that ownership group. It's kind of my universe. I feel the excitement and the optimism among fans. This is all very new. I mean, it just happened last week. But how do you feel the momentum has gone for you and the ownership group since you've taken over?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're just honestly humbled by the spirit that we felt. I think going in, we knew that people were looking for a change and looking for, hopefully an ownership group that cares deeply about the community, using this as a platform to bring people together, to create civic pride the way it used to be. That was our hope. But until you experience it, you don't know. And what we've seen has been amazing. And look, Josh, the majority owner, he and I grew up 10 minutes from the tennis site. And went to Redskins games as kids. And the fact that, he's the lead and we're doing this together, I think just speaks the world of how people can think about how we're going to think about this and how much it means to us. And we couldn't have been more excited and fired up and motivated, but actually the reaction has made it even more so, because we know how much people are counting on us to deliver something amazing. And I'll tell you, give us time and it will be absolutely extraordinary.
Well, hearing the way you've built up the experience at the tennis tournament makes me excited for how things could look for the experience for Commanders fans at games. I got an idea for you. And you are clearly the marketing genius. I've been to Castle's games. I've been to all of it, right? But Castle's matches, I should say. But the Barbie Oppenheimer doubleheader thing that's going on right now? Yeah. Next week, somebody could go to training camp in the morning and then come to the tennis tournament that night, and it'd be the Mark Ein doubleheader.
I like the way you think. I'm going to take that to both teams' marketing organizations. Now, the only issue we have, JP, is that the tennis tournament is very close to sold out for real. We're like 93% sold out. So we'll have to see what day it is and what tickets are available. But I love the way you think about it. And I think you're going to see some, Commanders folks at the tennis next week. And then Francis, I know, would love to come to the Commanders in the fall. So lots to do together.
We'll be watching. Congrats on all of it. And we're really looking forward to the Mubadala Citi Open coming up next week.
Thanks, JP. Appreciate it.